What's up, YouTube? KT here with the Saturn in the garage here once again, doing some light maintenance to it. We took a road trip last weekend, and with everybody in the car noticed that she was bouncing around a little bit on the highway, and realized that one of the back shocks had gone out. The only reason I'm making a video about this is I had a little trouble finding the replacement parts for this car, not because they aren't available, but what I wanted to do was I was trying to, there's two different, for the Saturn Outlook you have front wheel drive and you have all-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, and ours is an Outlook XR front wheel drive, and there are two different shocks from what I can tell, and I had trouble chasing down the right part. AutoZone didn't know which was which, you know, your typical big box of auto parts stores. And let me put you on the tripod and I'll give you some details, because I'm going to hold up the two shocks that I've got and the difference between the two. Okay, so what I found when I was trying to get the original GM part number off of the shock absorber, and the rear does have shocks. This is the number that I found. There's a barcode. Let me see if I can get that in there. There's a barcode right there, right? That number is different than the new replacement shocks that I bought. 258-229-2945. And this one is a 258-15593. Anyhow, long story short, I called the GM dealership because I got under and I looked at the car, and I called them and asked them about this part number. Said it's not a good part number. I called 3 different dealerships, and I'm going to get on my soapbox here for a minute, and if there are any viewers that are GM parts, work for General Motors, work in a parts department at a dealership, just one little parental discretion advised tip here: don't be assholes. All right, all 3 of the dealerships that I talked to here in Central Texas, when I was trying to get some information on this old shock with this old part number, were just parental discretion advised, first class fucking assholes. These are the same parts. I went on eBay after I did my research. So anyhow, let me finish with the part number. If you've got an all-wheel drive, if you have a front-wheel drive, don't go by the barcode on the original on the original shock. Right here, when I pulled this shock off, I found the actual part number, and it is 28. Come on. I don't even know why I try focusing with this damn thing. Anyhow, this number down here says 258-22945. Right here. Don't go by this on the original part, go by this. On the new part, it does have the correct number on the barcode, and it does match the number that's stamped into the cylinder down here, okay? 2 part numbers from GM. Let's just focus on the last 3 digits. 945 is the front wheel drive, 946 is the rear wheel drive. The GM part number that this goes by, if you go to an auto parts store, the AC Delco part number, sorry, the AC Delco part number is 560572. 560572, and for the all-wheel drive, it is 560573. I don't know what the difference between the two is. I would imagine with all-wheel drive there's some different suspension parts, and it's probably different the way this mounts up on the bottom. But what I'm going to do, anyhow, you know, I'm going to get back on my soapbox. I paid less than half. And I understand we've got to make money, and I understand about profit. I'm a capitalist myself. I work for a living. I had my own AC business, so I know what it takes to mark up a part. But for shit's sake, really, you have to charge. This was $96 at the factory, at the dealership. Factory part, AC Delco, $96. I got this online for $44.80 something. Tax and shipped. It's like 38 bucks. Taxing and shipping is $44.80 something a piece. So I got both of these shocks for what asshole dealerships wanted to charge me for one. Number one. Number two, none of them had them in stock. I would imagine with these Outlooks, Acadias, and Buick Enclaves and Chevy Traverse or whatever, that these are going bad at a pretty rapid rate. But I'm guessing the reason they don't have any in stock is because they charge too goddamn much for them. So, you know, again, if you're a work at a GM dealership and you're one of my followers or subscribers or whatever the hell it is, just don't be an asshole. If you're in the parts department, no. Not everybody can afford to pay twice what you can get something for. I mean, I bought the windshield wipers and front and for the two front and for the back window, and I also bought the struts from the local dealership. We had some issues with the water pump and they did us right. And then we had to replace the transmission in this. It had the 135 wave plate issue go bad that all the other cars are doing. That's a whole nother video that I'm probably not going to get into, but just suffice it to say that GM knows it's a problem. It's the same issue I had with the sunshell gear in my 01 Silverado. GM knows it's an issue. It's a shitty part. It's a piece of crap. It's not heat treated right, and when it goes, it takes out the whole transmission with it. So yeah, I'm gonna get back on this. Literally, I could go off for an hour on the shit that we went through with this car, but I'm gonna keep this video short. I'm already at what, 6 minutes? Yeah. Anyhow, I'll get started on this and just do a real quick how-to and go from there. Okay, YouTube. We'll get started on the passenger side. Got it jacked up. I've got my jack stand under right there. The wheels have to come off. Wheels and tires have to come off because the upper shock mount is back in behind here. So first step is take the wheel off, and then I'll show you the inner workings where the shock's mounted, what wrenches to use, easiest way to get to it, so on and so forth. So let's get busy. Okay, up here on top, we've got a 15 millimeter head. This is, it's smaller than an 18, but it's bigger than a 17. So the 18 worked on it, but it's a little bit sloppy. And then on the bottom down here, real simple, this one in the front is a 13/16. And this on the back is 13/16. So both 13/16. I'm going to get my air ratchet up here, get this one knocked out, get my impact, get the big one off down the bottom, then I'll show you some details on the shocks. Stand by. It's where they used 18s. My wife got me a set of Craftsman ratchets last winter for Christmas, and all my socket sets, all my wrench sets, all my other socket sets, and all my other wrench sets go straight from 17 to 19. So it's no surprise GM used their friggin' oddball size nut for this. They could have gone to 17, they could have gone up to 19, but no, they decided to use an 18, and it was the one that it's the most least popular tool in all of my collection. So yeah, thanks for that, GM assholes. Okay, now to the bottom where I've got my 13/16 and wrench, impact and wrench. Brake goes out of the way. Use my handy dandy floor jack handle here. It's wedged in there pretty good, so you have to wiggle it out. Um, one thing that I do want to point out here is the taper on this part right here goes on the front of the bottom part of the control arm, right down here, right here. That has a bevel in it, like a negative taper. This is a positive taper, so it fits into the control arm like that, and the bolt goes through the front here, just like that, and then it goes into the front, and this mating surface right here attaches to the control arm. All right, stand by. Okay, old shock out, new shock in. It's pretty it's straightforward, you know, everything goes back in reverse order. And I think that's about it. I'm not going to carry on any farther. You know, again, shock's going to go in, top mount, make sure that the bottom mount, this right here, this surface, mates on the front of the control arm, the lower control arm. Tighten everything back up. 13/16 nut and bolt on the bottom, 15 millimeter and 18 millimeter on the top. If you've got air tools, it makes it really fast. If I wasn't doing all this talking and yammering and stuff, I would be done by now. But simple. Oh, and by the way, they wanted to charge me almost $600 to replace these while it was in the shop. I knew the shocks were bad while it was in the shop, and they wanted 3 hours to change the shocks out, and then $100 a piece. 3 hours at $110 an hour, and then $100 bucks a piece, $96 a piece for the shocks, and a $600 bill. And I'm doing this on a Sunday afternoon. I literally would have been done in probably an hour if I hadn't taken the time to record this crap and get everything set up. Yeah, you know, you're looking at about an hour, hour and a half. Most of the time that I spent was trying to figure out what the hell to do about that 18 millimeter nut, what size I was going to use. But other than that, it's really simple, straightforward. Make sure when you jack it up, you use jack stands. Be safe, don't be stupid, and hopefully if anybody out there is trying to figure out what's going on with their shocks, whether it's all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive, this will help. We will catch you next time, and hopefully soon I'll get back on my my toys, my fun cars. Tired of working on the regular stuff. Stupid maintenance. All right. KT out. Adios.